Hey y'all, my name is Vanita. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber or viewer, welcome back. I'm glad to have you. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make friends as an adult. I moved to Dallas, Texas about 4 years ago. Not quite, but almost. And I didn't have a single friend. I now have a good group of friends to the point where I'm like, okay, I might be at the capacity for friendship because I believe in showing up and showing up well. And when you have too many, I feel like you really can't do that. I have shared on here my journey trying to make friends here in Dallas. I've shared about using Bumble BFF and all the different things. So if you want to see those videos, make sure you go back and watch those. But today I'm going to be giving you some tips because now I feel like I know what I'm doing and I can help you guys too. And this doesn't just work in Dallas, this can work anywhere across the world. The first tip is you have to put yourself out there. Friends are just going to fall into your lap, especially in adulthood. I know when we were younger, it was a lot easier. A lot of people say it's hard to make friends as an adult. And that's because we're not necessarily always in the spaces to make them, and we don't always have those commonalities with everyone. I know, like, when you're a kid, you're in high school, you're in college. Oh, not a kid when you're in college, you're an adult, but you know what I mean. So you are in spaces with people who have maybe similar mindsets or you have a lot in common with. It's not as common when you are an adult. So you have to make sure that you are putting yourself out there. And when I say put yourself out there, I mean that may mean sliding into a DM. That may mean just going up to someone and saying, hello, my name is. You have to introduce yourself to people. You have to talk to people. And even sometimes on social media, you can put yourself out there. You see someone else talking about the desire of friendship, you can reach out and say, me too. And it takes a certain level of vulnerability to truly put yourself out there. And maybe you will get rejected, but it's okay because the people that are for you, you will find them. Keep putting yourself out there. The second thing you have to do is you have to put yourself in the spaces to meet friends. And I'm talking about physical spaces. For example, if you want to meet friends who read books, go to the library, go to the bookstore. You want to meet friends who play tennis, go to the tennis courts. You do not even have to have what you need necessarily to go there. Yes, you go to the tennis courts and you don't have anybody to play with, but you may meet someone there, or you may meet a couple there who is willing to play with you. It happened to me, it can happen to you too. Now that I gave you those 2 tips, I'm going to talk about the ways that I have personally met friends, and you can too. The first way is through Bumble BFF. I have a whole video about one of my bad Bumble BFF experiences, but I've actually had 2 good ones since then. Y'all, the thing about Bumble BFF is I feel 2 ways about it. I feel like it is a lot of work for a little bit of reward, but when you do meet good people on there, it is worth it because 2 people I met on there, if I'm being quite honest, they are really good people, so it was worth it. But I feel like you have to kind of kiss a whole lot of frogs to find them. And the reason is this. A lot of people who are on Bumble BFF really aren't intentional about making friends. A lot of them are just on there saying, oh, find me on IG or this or that. And a lot of the time, some of the people on there, they're on there because they're not going to put in the time and the work that it requires to make friends. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, but there are people on there who are really intentional, who really want to make friends. I would say, and I don't know, some of y'all may say no, but the way I think is if you are on Bumble BFF, you're more likely to meet people who are going to be intentional if they are not from the area. So if you see someone say just moved here, things of that nature, they're actually probably more likely to be invested and really want to meet up and do things, because a lot of people on Bumble BFF also don't actually want to meet. Some of them just want to be pen pals. And if you're trying to really make good friends, you want more than pen pals. You don't want to just talk to them and just be texting and things. You really want to meet them. So Bumble BFF is the first way. I did meet 2 friends on there. It works, but y'all, it takes a lot of work. So if you're not patient, Bumble BFF probably is not the best route for you. The next way is social media. Now y'all, there are so many different ways to meet friends on social media. I'll give you a few examples from me personally. The first way is through groups. I met one of my good friends on a Facebook group. And it's actually a Facebook group for women here in Dallas who want to meet other women. Go figure. There are plenty of groups like this. I know in Dallas there are a few. I was actually, you know what? I think I still am a part of that group. I haven't been on it lately. But there's this one group that I think it's called... Y'all, if I can find it, I'll put it down in the comments if you are in Dallas so you can see. Or no, I'll put it in the description box. It's not the comments. So if you're in Dallas, you can see what it is. But there are a lot of groups. And if you just search groups in your area, I'm sure you can find Facebook groups dedicated to meeting people. Another way I met someone was, it's kind of a one-off experience, but it happened, so I want to share it, is on TikTok. I was looking at a video of someone posting this food place here in Dallas, and someone commented was like, oh, I wish I had friends to go check out these places with. And y'all, if you don't know anything else about me, I love to eat. So when I saw that comment, it was someone desiring friendship and desiring to go places with someone. I said, oh, I think I could do that. So I had commented and said something to her, and then we got a conversation going. We started DMing, we exchanged numbers, and we've hung out a couple of times. So that's another way to meet good friends. It may be a little bit risky, but I'm telling you, it works. I did it and you can too. And then another way I've met people is through my YouTube channel, through Instagram. People do slide in my DMs because I am a content creator. But even if you just are not a creator, you can always slide in people's DMs. The same way that people reach out to me, y'all can reach out to people too. And I feel like you can meet people on any social media site as long as you're open to it. But if you are doing this, just be careful. Be very, very careful. Another great way to meet people is through mutual friends. Now, of course, this means you already have to have one friend. But if you have one friend, maybe you should ask them to bring their friends along to something. Because sometimes, and not all the time, because I know sometimes you'll be friends with someone, you'll hate all their friends. But sometimes you'll meet a friend through a friend, and you'll be like, you know what? You might be cooler than the original friend. It's like, just kidding. That does happen. People who have things in common are normally attracted to people who have things in common with them. So if y'all have certain things in common, some of their friends might be a great option. I definitely met a friend through a friend, and it worked out very, very well. The next way to meet people is go places alone. And I know a lot of people are scared to go places alone, or don't want to, have fear of being judged, or just fear of like, what am I gonna do if I'm there alone? Listen, y'all, if you go places alone, that's the sure way to meet people. And I'm not even gonna always just say you'll meet friends. You might meet a man, you might meet a woman, whoever's watching this, but you will definitely meet people when you go places alone. People are more likely to approach you when you are alone. So if you're looking to meet friends and you want a specific kind of friend, let's say you already have some friends, but you want friends who like to read books, or you want friends who like this or that, something that your friends don't like, go to those spaces. For example, with me, with tennis, I had desire to play tennis. So I had went to the courts. Actually, I wasn't even going to the courts. I was just walking past them and I saw people playing. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna ask them if I can play with them. At the time I thought it was a couple. It was not actually a couple, they were just friends. And I asked the one, hey, can I play with y'all someday? And he was very willing, and y'all, to this day, I still play with the one all the time. So if you just put yourself out there, you never know who you'll meet. And it's funny because after I met him and we started playing, I later found out that they actually kind of met the same way, just at the park. Like, they did not know each other. They all just met, and it's been like 4 of us who've all ended up playing together at certain times. None of us knew each other except for just meeting at the park, and one saying to the other, hey, you want to play with us? Or the other one saying, hey, can I play with y'all? It's so crazy. It happens. And then even just talking to the one, he was saying how he was lonely and how he desired friendship and things. Y'all, there are plenty other people out here who desire friendship too. So put yourself in those places. You will meet the people, I promise. Another place that you can meet people at is networking events. And I'm not always just talking about the business ones. I know that they have some events just for meeting people. I've actually been seeing a few influencers who have been throwing events here in Dallas just for people who want to meet people. So look into different events that are going on. Some of them are on Eventbrite and different things. Definitely check that out, because if it's something to meet people, well, you know the people there desire friendship too. Or sometimes they desire business partners or whatever. But just be mindful of what kind of event it is, and that's a good way to meet people. Last but not least, and I know some of y'all are gonna be like, ugh, work. Now, I know. I didn't think I would say to meet friends at work either, but I have met a friend at work down here, and we actually no longer work at the company, either one of us, but we're still friends to this day. When I tell y'all, sometimes you may find people at work who y'all have a lot in common with. Now, our situation was a little bit different since we worked at 2 separate locations. We weren't like up under each other all day, every day, but we did meet at work. And you never know how much you may have in common with people you work with, because me and her, we had both just moved to Dallas. We actually had a lot in common, both Virgos. Like, birthdays are days apart. We really have a lot in common, and it's crazy where we met, but it happens. So if you are open to meeting friends, you can literally meet friends anywhere. If you're open to meeting them, you're willing to put yourself out there, and you are going to let your guard down. Because if you always have your guard up like this, it's gonna be hard for you to meet friends. But those are just some of the ways that I've met friends, some of the ways I suggest you do too. And if you've met friends different ways, or if you have any more suggestions on how to meet friends, please leave them down in the comments. The thing about it is, the first step is meeting them. Once you meet them, you can fill them out, you can develop the relationships. But I really wanted to make the video focus on meeting friends, because a lot of times people don't even get to the first step of meeting them to even be able to get the relationship going. Some of the people you hit it off with, some you might say, oh, you know what, they're not really for me. But just keep going. You will meet the people that are out there for you. You will meet them. Be intentional. Keep going. I promise you guys, because it's been a long time coming for me to be able to say this. When I really started being intentional, putting myself out there, y'all, the friends started flowing, and it just all happened. And I don't know if I would say organically, because I don't think necessarily that's the word, but it happened, and I'm glad it happened. And y'all, it can happen for you too. Please make sure that you are subscribed. Comment down below any ways you can make friends, and maybe down in the comments you might meet a friend, somebody else in your area saying that they're looking for friendship too. So put it in the comments where you're from, where you're looking for friends at, because I don't know, y'all, I'm trying to help out. Maybe you might just meet a friend in the comments, because look, I made a friend in the TikTok comments. You can make one in my YouTube comments. That would actually make my heart smile so much, y'all. Make sure you like the video, y'all. Share the video, because if you liked it, someone you know may too. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching.